Hi, my name is Tatum Ford. I'll be doing my informative speech over the rotational grazing of sheep. On our farm, we've been rotationally grazing for close to 20 years now, as long as I've been alive. What is rotational grazing? The exact same as any other grazing operation you'd see around the country, with one small caveat. Instead of putting all of your livestock into one big pasture and just letting them roam free wherever they'd like, you put them in that pasture, but you cut it into strips and put up temporary fencing across the pasture so they can only get into small pieces at a time. And then you move them either daily, bi-daily, weekly, however you see fit to do it. On our farm, we do it almost daily. If we skip a day, it's no big deal. We'll just move them the next day. Why do you do this? Well, there's a multitude of reasons, but the main ones is for your stock health and for the health of your grass. This will help your stock as in your livestock, your sheep in this case, with the parasites that they might encounter. You're moving them away from it every day, as well as you're keeping them on fresher ground where the grass is better, they can gain more weight and just be overall healthier, as well as this is better for the crops. So when you move them away from grass every day, this allows the grass to not be eaten down as much, and in certain spots not be trampled as much. It helps it grow back bigger and stronger, and it also helps with it trap in more carbon and build up your soil quality, so when they come back the next time, the grass is even better. What really helps to keep one of the biggest problems you face is keeping the livestock in your contained area. One of the biggest things you need is a good fence to keep them in there, and the temporary fence you put up from place to place needs to be well put together. And in our case, we use an electric fence, which helps tremendously keep them in there. This also means you'll have to do a little bit more work, but in the long run, we think it's worth it, just for our stock's health and for the grass health. We use temporary fencing like polywire reels and little plastic fence posts that we move every day. And it also helps keep the sheep in. If you keep them on better grass, then they won't want to leave. That helps tremendously, more than you'd ever think. The other main reason we do this is because we have enough land that we own that we can keep some of the land unoccupied for some of the summer and spring months, where we can put them on fresh ground in the winter when the grass isn't growing as much, and fall. And this allows us not to have to put out any hay or give very few supplements when winter it's cold and there's no grass growing. The only reason we would have to put out hay is in the case that it might be snowing and the grass is covered and the lambs cannot get to it. Why do it with sheep? Well, sheep, we also do it with cows, but for this demonstration we'll be talking about sheep. We use sheep because with the economy and the cow prices right now, it's just a little harder to get more cows on your land. With the prices with sheep, they're a little cheaper and a little not easier to maintain, but if you get them to market, there's a bigger upside for your paycheck. Thank you for your time. That is why we rotationally graze sheep.